Okay, so this is SailPoint Batch 2, Apache Tomcat, Pin, Startup from Bat. So yesterday we saw that when I logged in into SailPoint, there was only one user present, right? That was SP admin, right? Now after that, I have to also load all the IDs. So basically, SailPoint we are setting up for whom? We are setting up for one organization who purchased the SailPoint license, right? So first thing is we need to understand the organization structure, organization systems. In organization, there are different application system where they store the employee information and the employee accounts and access information. Take example. Let's say today I join an organization, let's say Cognizant. So first they will create my account in the HR system. After that, they will give me one laptop, which is a Windows Active Directory account. After that, they will provide me, email address, which is Outlook account. After that, they will give me a payroll account where I can log in. I can see my salary details, taxes, sales. And after that, they will give me a training portal where I can complete mandatory training, compliance training of the organization. Leave portal where I can apply leaves. The travel portal where I can book hotels and flight if I have to travel, right? So different systems they will provide, right? And I will be logging into those systems as per my requirement, right? So for all those systems, basically they are going to create account, right? Now we need to manage all those systems, all the user who has account on those system and their access, what level, right? What level of authorization they have. Now, when we talk about the SailPoint, the first thing is we have to manage identities of our organization. So first thing is we need list of identities, right? The identities of our organization, right? So how can we bring those identities here, right? So all the system basically on which our account get created in SailPoint, we call it application system, application systems. As of now, we don't have any application defined here. It's a blank, okay? So we need to define our application. Okay. Now, after this, basically, the first question comes is which application will give us list of identities, means list of all employees. So now there's different system in organization. We need to figure out which system can give us all the employee information of that organization. In every organization, there are different system, right? So generally, we have one trusted source from which we can get list of all users, all actual users. So that system is called HRMS system, because that is the whole purpose of the department to manage all the employees, right? HR team, right? So HR team manage one system where they basically keep all the employee, contractor, every ID information, right? So whenever we work with SailPoint, first we need identities, the current employee of organization. For that, we need to connect with their HRMS system. Same thing I'll explain here. Okay. So yesterday we set up this central part, SailPoint and the database. Now we do have HRMS system, basically where we have list of all users who are part of our organization. We need to connect HR system with SailPoint and we need to bring data. This will be one-way flow. We will be only reading data from HRMS system into SailPoint. We will not write back anything. Okay, it's a one-way flow. Why? Because we are not authorized to write anything in the HR system. Only HR team, right? They are responsible or they are authorized to write anything in the system. We have to just make a copy. We have to read all the user which they have in the organizations. So this is the HRMS system which HR team is maintaining, where they have list of all users. We need to read and we need to bring into SailPoint. For training purpose, I do have one HR system here. This VM data folder you will be able to download from your Google Drive once I'll share today. In this VM data, go here, HR data. Here you have this one file called auth employees, right? This is one file. If you double click on this, you'll see this get open in the Microsoft Excel. But if you see the file properties, you see, this is not actually Excel file. This is Microsoft Excel, comma, separate values. In short, it's a CSV file, .csv. Okay, comma, separate values means all the values in this file are separated by the comma. How can we check that? Open this file in the notepad, you will see. You see, everything is in this file is separated by comma. Header, comma, second header, comma, third header. Value, comma, second value, comma, third value. So Microsoft Excel has that mechanism that it can read and show data in form of columns. So this is the HR team system which they are maintaining. Okay, so HR team maintaining this file system where they have list of all employees, right? Now, example, this employee. So this employee has employee ID, first name, last name, manager ID, full name, email, department, region, location, etc. All these attributes are present. Right? So we need to connect to this system and we need to read all this user list into SailPoint. How can we do this? First thing is, if you see here, it's giving you one warning, no authoritative application system defined. So basically it is saying that when we are defining different type of application systems, we need to mark one application system, minimum one application system we need to mark, which is basically trusted, right? Truth of source for SailPoint, okay, which will give all real identities to SailPoint. For that, what we need to do, we need to click add new application, define the name of application, let's say HRMS. Owner, as of now, we have only SP admin. Application type. Now, application type basically decide what type of system we are connecting. We are connecting Active Directory. We are connecting a database. We are connecting a file system, right? We are connecting SAP system. We are connecting Okta system, right? We are connecting AWS system, right? AWS cloud. So accordingly, we need to select here. So right now we are connecting to a file system. So we have to use delimit file. Delimit file connector. Okay. Go to configurations. Here we need to provide all this configuration where this file is located. File path, mandatory one. So where this file is located, you have to read this file path with exact extension .csv, exact extension. Copy this. Auth employee.csv as it is. Paste here. After this, what is a delimiter? Means how your data is divided into file. So that is comma. Add here comma in this field. If you see, we have headers on the first line. We do have employee ID, first name, last name, manager ID, right? So we need to provide this information to SailPoint also. That file has column header on the first line, right? Now here you see one button called test connection. Test connection button basically will tell you that whether SailPoint is able to make connection with this application system or not. Right now it is failing. That means SailPoint is not able to make connection, but that is not correct. If you read the message carefully, you will see the exact issue. Retrieving file stream was successfully. That means SailPoint was able to read this file. When SailPoint, but there was a failure iterating object, right? Iterating object means what? SailPoint is going over each record one by one, 2, 3. So that time SailPoint failed. Why? SailPoint says that account schema is not defined. Now, what is this account schema? In this sheet, in this source, basically, in this system, okay. As of now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 columns. It could be 100 columns, 200 columns, right? Out of which we need to bring into SailPoint system, which are the columns which we need to read. So explicitly, we need to tell that to SailPoint. So that is basically called account schema. What account? This is a user called James Smith. So James Smith has account in the HRM system. So which are the attribute we need to read for all this user? So that is called account schema. Schema is here. we have to click on this discover schema attribute. It will automatically read all this attribute from your CSV file source system. Let's say I don't need this business unit, okay, for any user. So what I can do, I can select this and I can mark it delete. Now SailPoint will not read business unit. Let's go back. Setting, test connection. Retrieving file stream was successful, but there was a failure editing objects. Okay. Now again error, but the schema error is removed if you see. So error is what? INT attribute was not found. That means this INT attribute is a mandatory attribute. We cannot skip. Okay. Now what is this INT attribute? What is the significance of this attribute? When SailPoint is reading this data, there are multiple columns. SailPoint need one unique column. So SailPoint can see uniqueness. Okay, that this record is different. This record is different. Right? Example, if you say this, inactive INT has same values here. So can we guess the user with this value? No. We need a unique attribute. Generally, we have employee ID and the email always unique in all organization. Employee ID and email are always unique, right? So any of this attribute we can use in the identity attribute. Copy this employee ID, add it. Now go back to setting, do test connection. Now, if you see test connection is successful, that means now SailPoint is successfully able to read the data. Okay. But now you go back to schema tab. You see this button called preview. Preview means it will load the records here, only first 10 records, and it will show you in a temporary window. The purpose of this preview button is to, give you that understanding that whatever schema you have selected, whatever INT attribute I have selected, based on that, how you will read data in SailPoint. So it's just a preview, temporary 10 records here. Okay. Now when SailPoint reading this record, right? SailPoint want to show these records, right? When we go here, if you see identity warehouse. Example here. So when we search user SP admin, or let's say if you open this username SP admin, right? So this name is basically it's readable, right? We are able to understand this SP admin. Let's say instead of SP admin, if it is printing, let's say employee ID of 1419753, it is difficult to read and difficult to understand that this user belongs to which human person. For that, SailPoint has one more additional optional attribute that is called display attribute. How you want to display user here, the username. Okay. If you don't use it, what will happen? SailPoint will use this by default internally. But if we define it, SailPoint will use this one. So let's say we have to use display attribute as a full name. To copy full name, add in your file. Now do the preview. You'll see full name coming first here. Because now all the record will be visible by this name. Now save this application. Save it again. Okay. We have provided this HRMS system, but if you see error is still there. Why? Because if by giving only name HRMS, SailPoint will not understand that this is our trusted system. We have to explicitly mark this, that this is a HRMS system, authoritative application, basically, trusted source, which will give us real identities of our organization. Save this. This is done. Now, that error, if you see, that is removed. Now let's go to INT warehouse. If you see no INTs are present here, why? Defining application doesn't mean you will see IDs here. Defining application means as a simple meaning. You have defined one application information, connection information, schema information, etc.
right? In order to bring user from that application system, we have to run a separate process that is called aggregation. Aggregation. Below this line, if you see, you have application system, source application. Above this line, you have SailPoint. Bringing data from this application system into SailPoint, that process is called aggregation, which is done by a task, aggregation task. So we have to go ahead, set up task. Here in the task, we have some predefined tasks by SailPoint. Some are scheduled also, automatically scheduled. And when we run the task, we will see task result here. Okay, the outcome of the task when you execute. Task is basically predefined Java code execute in the backend, nothing else. So one predefined Java code is basically read the data from the file, it's already there. But when we want to trigger that Java code, we have to set up here. So here, few tasks we can create. New task, account aggregation. Provide a name here, HRMS aggregation. Select application to scan HRMS. Save and execute. We are saving also and executing also. HRMS aggregation task saved here. It's also executing here. It's finished. Now here, if you see, you have information. Name, HRMS aggregation. What type of task? Account aggregation. Total runtime 5 seconds. Start date, complete date, average runtime, host. On which server we have executed. Right now, my server, my machine is a default server, right? So it's giving me host name. Yesterday we talked about this, right? Host name. So here it will show you that, okay, this task actually execute on the machine 1, machine 2, like that. Okay. Now here, the actual data. Applications scan HRMS. Account scan 161. IDs created 161. So SailPoint has executed reading all account 161 and creating IDs 161. Now if you go to IND warehouse and refresh, you will see all IDs here. And if you see, all IDs are visible by the display name, full name, because full name we used as a display attribute. So for display attribute, full name is coming. So this is one employee whose name is Aaron Nicholas. This person has account here on the HRMS. That's it. Right? All INTs are present. Now there are certain issues here. If you see, only username is coming here, first name, last name is not coming here. SailPoint says that mechanism I'll provide, but everything you have to do as per your organization requirement. Because every organization, they have different use cases, different situation scenarios, right? Accordingly, you have to onboard the application, you have to do the mapping, right? So SailPoint says that automatically I will not do this. I will do all the automation in default product, which are very minimum. Example, username. So now we have to add this attribute here. For that, we have to go here. This is called global icon, gear icon, global setting. Click on this INT mapping. And if you see the description here, configure the INTs that are managed by INT IQ. Okay. We are configure those INT which are managed by INT IQ. Okay. So all INTs basically here under INT warehouse managed by SailPoint, right? Second. On the global setting, click on INT mapping. These are the minimum attribute defined by the SailPoint. SailPoint says that maybe your organization using business unit, or maybe they are using business code, or maybe they are using simple term department. We don't know, right? So whatever you are using, you need to define that. We will only provide those attributes which are applicable to all organization in this world. Like in all organization, employee always have a full name, right? First name basically, right? Last name, email, and the manager. These are the like very minimum and the common attribute you all will see in your organization. Okay. So SailPoint say that I will only provide this. And mapping you have to do on your own. So primary source mapping, if you see, is blank. So let's do the mapping here. Open this. First name, source mapping, add source. HRMS. From the HRMS, which attribute we need to do? Read first name. So for first name, which is coming from HRMS, that will be set on every identity. So whatever we are defining under the global setting, that is applicable to all user, all identities. Same way we can do for email also. Email from HRMS. Save this. Now, if you go back, refresh this. If you see first name is not coming for any user, why? All this mapping that we define on the identity attribute only triggered when we run the aggregation. The first time I run the aggregation, that time I haven't defined this mapping. Just now I've defined this mapping, right? So I have to run the aggregation task again. HRMS aggregation. Now, since we already saved this task, we don't need to define it again. New task, it's not required. We can simply right click, execute in background. Task executed. And one more thing is basically, if you see, I execute again, so it replaces. I want to maintain history of my HRMS aggregation task, right? The first time what I execute, second time, third time, fourth time. I want to maintain history. What I can do, go to this task, open this. You see previous result action. By default, select delete. So it will delete the previous one. It will show the latest one only. Mark it, rename old. And run this again. What will happen? It will rename the previous one like this, HRMS aggregation -1. And the current one, it will show you by this name. If I run it again, first time execution, second time, and the latest one. So this way you can maintain the history also. Now open this task. Task executed, fine. Go to IDs. You see first name is still not coming for any single user. Why? When we define the mapping, I mentioned that you have to run the aggregation, right? I just run the aggregation, but still mapping is, attributes are not coming. Why? If you see one important detail here, it's saying optimized scanning 161 account, but after scanning 161 accounts are optimized. So basically SailPoint is not aggregating this account. SailPoint is skipping, ignoring this account. Why? SailPoint is designed for large enterprise where employee strength 50,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, like that. Now, if we are running aggregation again and again for 1 lakh employee, that aggregation task will take 5-6 hours minimum to complete. As of now, we have less data in our machine, right? We have only 160 user. But let's say if we have 1.6 lakh user, right? In that case, it will, take 4-5 hours to complete. Okay. So now SailPoint says that we will perform optimization. Optimization means basically when we aggregated the account, when we reading the account first time, right? After that, let's say yesterday I aggregate all this account. After that, today, next day, if there changes happen on accounts, those will be, aggregated again. But if there is no change happen on those accounts, they will be ignored. They will be optimized. Take one example here. In our HRM system, let's do this. Jennifer Thomas, location is Brazil. I'll change this to Austin. So after 161 user, how many I updated here? Only one. So SailPoint will only aggregate one, rest all will be optimized, ignored, because rest all are not modified here, right? Let's verify that. This is the latest one, HRMS aggregation. If you see accounts can 160 optimize, only one identity is updated. So this is how SailPoint use optimization feature. Bring only those accounts which are modified after the last aggregation. This is called optimization. Any question on this part, anyone?
How SailPoint identifies that this account has undergone changes?
Your voice is very low.
Okay, is it better now?
Can you speak again?
Okay, so how SailPoint identifies that this account has undergone changes and this did not go any?
Actually, there is SailPoint actually don't actually check this account here on this file.
Okay.
Actually, SailPoint read all accounts.
Okay.
When SailPoint read account in the memory, that time SailPoint check this INTs which are saved in database. If those are same, what SailPoint do? Actually, SailPoint just skip the saving changes, committing changes in the database. Only that part is saved. SailPoint actually read all account 161. Okay.
Okay.
When SailPoint sees that 160 account are same in the database, so SailPoint will not again run a SQL query to update.
Will it
Basically.
compare the identity?
Sorry.
Will it compare the identity? Like when it
Attribute, yes, it compares the attribute, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it compares the all attribute, the complete row. If this is the
Okay.
one record, right, it will compare everything. If everything is same in the database as compared to the previous last aggregation, it will optimize, it will ignore.
So it will reduce the aggregation time, right?
Your voice is again low.
I mean, it will reduce the aggregation time, right?
Yeah, it will again reduce the aggregation time. How? Because it is reading 161 account, but it's not saving those 161 account in the database.
Okay.
So when we saved any record in the database, so database has a mechanism. At the low level, if you understand the database has a mechanism. If you remember this asset properties, you have to take a log first on the database, then you will update, then you will release, right? So at the code level, that functionality is already there. So taking log, update one record and release, taking log. So that for thousands of user will be saved because of those users are already same data. There is nothing change. Only one user is modified. So only one user record will be again saved in the database.
Okay.
So this is how SailPoint reduce the time, total time.
Okay. Okay.
So Naveen, for every iteration, if there is no change, okay, and we'll try to aggregate, then that almost the time will be reducing.
One second. So let me explain this. We have, let's say, 10,000 users. Okay. In the 10,000 users, basically you run the aggregation first time. All 10,000 are saved in the SailPoint database, right? After that, what happened? Next day you are running the aggregation. Okay, and there is no change, no change happen in your 10,000 user. So SailPoint will aggregate those accounts and SailPoint will compare it with the database. And that time SailPoint will check that, okay, there are no change. So SailPoint will skip updating those 10,000 record again in the database. So this is called optimization. It's reading the 10,000 record, but it's not saving again. So account optimization, you can say account not saved in the database. And this you can say accounts identities saved in the database. You can say this also. Clear to everyone?
So my question is that like how this, I mean, average runtime or runtime and average runtime will be calculated. So what is that parameters?
No, average runtime will calculate when you run it multiple times. You will see. So this is the total time of this. Average time will come after, let's say you run this 10 times, right? So it will take the 10 average of 10 aggregation tasks.
Okay.
As of now, we have only used it few times, right? So it is giving 2 seconds. Now let's say, yeah, let me complete this. I'll show you this. Now let's say I don't want this optimization. I want to forcefully save all records. I want to forcefully read all user and save also in the database. So this mapping can trigger for all user. How can we do this? Go back to task called HRMS aggregation task. This one. Go down here, use this one option called disable optimization feature of unchanged account. Those accounts which are not changed here, unchanged, disable their optimization. Use this checkbox, save and execute. See the task result. HRM segregation executed at 9:35. Now account scan 161, ID updated 161, because now it is updating all the records. Okay. Tomorrow, when I'll be executing this multiple time, that time I'll show you this average time increased. Okay, so total runtime now it's 6 seconds. Average time is 1 second. So average it's showing for all this task. This 5. Okay, average time of all this 5 tasks. Clear? Any question, anyone?
Rahul, am I audible?
Yes.
So I have question. In case if the application team change the CSV file, in
Mhm.
that if they have 1,000 account in which they added more account and previous accounts are same as it is, but they have changed the whole CSV file. So in that case,
The
how they
structure, the schema,
yes,
the structure, right? The headers, basically, we can say headers.
headers are same,
Mhm.
data are also same, and 20 or 200 people are users are added in that. So
Mhm.
instead of giving the modification, they have changed the CSV file. So how in that case this will work?
It will work as it is. Okay. By default, SailPoint will always read the modification and the new entries. Okay. Let's say here, if I add new entries, let's say one employee add here in this same file, or even you can make a copy of this file again. Okay. You can do anything, right? Let's say we have one more employee. Amit. Okay. We have one employee, Amit Sharma. Okay. I believe we don't have any similar record. Yeah, we don't have. Okay. Let's say one employee is added. Whether you use disable optimization of unchanged feature or not, it doesn't matter. Updated, modified record and the new record will be always aggregated by default in SailPoint. Even you cannot stop that. Right click, HRMS aggregation. See the task result. This is the one 938. Account scan 162. One I indicated. Rest all updated. 161 updated.
Okay.
So any modification you do or any new entry you do, always SailPoint will read those changes.
And if in case, as you said, schema is changed.
If the schema is, if header is changed, you have to reconfigure your application. There is no other option.
Okay.
Rahul, here like why it's like 161 is updated, because we are created only one new entry. The scanned is 160 would be fine, but why it's updated to 161? Because we are not updated anything, right?
Because I've used this option. I've selected this option. Disable optimization. So if
Okay.
you use this disable optimization, it will read all account and it will save all accounts.
Okay, got it.
If I remove this and if I run now, you see, it will not update anything. 939. Scan 162, optimize 162.
Rahul, there is one more option if you go in the task definition for this job. From the last second, sequential termination error. What is that? Yeah, the second one, last second. Sequential.
You will learn this in the coming chapter.
Okay.
This comes when we run that multiple task in sequence.
Okay.
As of now, we are running single task, right? After some time, when we have a lot of tasks, we have to arrange those tasks in a sequence.
But
Because what happens is basically, so every organization, they have a flow that, okay, early morning we'll read all the latest changes from the HR system. After that, we will trigger the joiner lever process. After that, we'll assign the roles, right? So they have a sequence that you need to follow. So in that case, we use the sequential task option. I'll tell you that time what is the purpose of this.
and one more question I have, like identity attribute and display attribute, can it be same or
It can
should
be. It can be.
Can be, right? Okay, we can
Yeah.
give employee ID for both in case.
Definitely, you can. You should know the purpose.
Okay.
This one SailPoint used for uniqueness. This for display purpose. Maybe
Right.
you only have employee ID in your CSV. So in that case, you will use employee ID in both places. You should
What
know
it
the
mean-
meaning of the purpose. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, what it mean instance attribute?
Instance attribute basically used when, so this was actually older concept. Now it is not used. When we mark application dependency on another application, that time we use this instance attribute.
Not clear, Rahul.
So earlier there was a concept of dependency application. Okay, so
Dependent
earlier
application, SailPoint is depending on other application.
yeah, so earlier there was a lot of concept like logical application, multiplex application, right? Multiplex connector. So that they have removed now. Okay, logical and I think logical is still there. Multiplex they have removed. Yeah, logical is still there, right? So in this case, we have logical connector is basically one application is one application system representing multiple applications here in SailPoint. Okay. So in that case, we use this instance attribute to build a relationship with that child application. In standalone application, we never use instance attribute. It's not required.
Is it possible to cover like how we will use that one?
It is never used. In 10 years, I never use in project. What you will learn from this? All these are older concept. SailPoint will not change this page. These options are removed. I mean, if you see the new connector documentation, they are not describing about this, but they are not going to change this. They are not going to remove this.
Okay. Because couple of like people are asking about logical applications. That's the reason I'm just asking like how it would be.
Logical app. So earlier, basically, we used to have this logical and multiplex application. Multiplex, they have officially removed, right? They are in the process of remove this logical also.
Yeah, okay.
Because that creates a lot of issues. That's why they want to remove it. If you read the SailPoint 6.47 version documentation, you will see this both connector examples also.
Right.
In newer connector, you will not see
One
this.
question from me.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm able to hear you.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Tell me a
Yeah.
question.
So Rahul, this instance attribute, see, for example, we are migrating from Oracle IDM. Okay, Oracle IDM 10G to, let's say, I know Oracle IDM 10G, no one will be using, but
Mhm.
during migration from one product to other product.
Mhm.
So if there are any logical applications,
Mhm.
okay, so this instance attribute is still a dependent attribute from some other application, right?
Some other
During
application in the SailPoint system, not on outside SailPoint, in the SailPoint system.
so what we need is we need a parent application. From that parent application, one attribute becomes an instance attribute for the next application, that is a child
Right.
application.
Right.
Okay, okay. But what is the use of this? I mean, what is the significance of this instance attribute? Is
So,
it to
okay.
relate the unique attribute with identity attribute, or is it something else?
Okay. So as of now, we are just reading the data,
Mhm.
right? When I cover the provisioning, that time you will see different perspective of all this attribute,
Correct.
right? That time you'll get more clarity. As of now, we are just reading the data. When we do provisioning also, right? Example, you want to create one Facebook account. So you simply go to facebook.com, you will provide your email, first name, last name, you will do sign up, right? You will get using your email. Email is your ID. Basically, using that you can log in, right? But let's say you have to open one saving account, right? So when you create one saving account, they will generate one account number, 16 digit, 12 digit account number, right? So what is that account number here, right? All those concept you will understand when we'll do the provisioning part.
Okay, okay.
Now we're just reading the data, inverts flow to SailPoint. All this
Okay.
attribute also used for provisioning.
So it will only happen in target application provisioning, not in
Yes.
authoritative application for the. There is
Yes,
no
because
significance for authoritative application for this attribute, that is instance attribute.
so this page are standard for all type of application.
Okay.
So in authoritative, we never do provisioning. From the authoritative, we always read the data. That's why
Correct.
if you see this arrow, it's one way,
Okay.
right? SailPoint team is not authorized to make modification in the HRMS system. We will only read the data inwards to SailPoint system. From SailPoint, we'll just read the data.
Okay.
Target application, we will do two-way. Inwards also, we'll read the data also, and we'll create accounts also. We'll do add access also.
Okay.
So this page are always common for all type of application. When I have set up the target application, right, you will see the same page.
Okay. Okay, I will ask a little more on this later in coming sessions. I have
Sure.
few questions on provisioning while using this instance attribute. I'll keep it, I will park it for now. So Rahul, there is another question. So when you are populating the data from delimited file, I mean aggregating this data, so where are you defining the character length for each column? I mean, is there any restrictions on the character length or characters? See, hello,
There is no limit.
there is no limit.
Yeah.
Okay. And in case if the file is corrupted by any chance, so how will you identify, I mean, what errors and what exceptions? How do we troubleshoot in case the file is corrupted or data is not proper in the delimited file?
I'll be covering those topic in coming session in the logging part, how we configure the logs.
Okay, okay. So we will cover in the logs. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's a
Rahul, sure.
logging, logging topic here, how we set up the logs, how we'll get the logs, error information, etc. But there
Okay.
is one more topic I can cover right now. How can we get notification of the this task? So that options we have that I can cover right now. So if you see email notification, it is disabled. Let's say whenever your task goes into warning in failure or always, you can use this option. Let's always I want to notify. I have one template name, let's say, let's this template name as of now, and I want to notify to, let's say, Albert Woods. Albert Woods basically one person who manages the SailPoint, or let's say the HR system, for any person, right? So I have to notify Albert Woods every time, basically, whenever we execute the task. Okay. This is for notification, but for detail level logs, there is a separate topic.
So got it.
Rahul, I have a question. Can I ask? Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rahul, you just showed that a partner who had 160 accounts was there. 161 account and you added one account over there, and after that you execute save and execute, and it was like 160 tasks was executed and one was not which newly added. After that I missed that part, means there is some changes happened there, you showed something. That part can you explain once again for 2-3 minutes, like that? Like you have added one account in the Excel file, and after that once you
The
execute.
simple logic is, this is a file you are reading. Whatever changes you will do in the existing record, or let's say if you add a new record, SailPoint will always read whenever you run the aggregation task. Simple. Okay. But after that, in the second time when you run the aggregation, let's say if, or let's understand this, any change you will do, let's say for example, this 2 record I modified here. Okay. And 1 record I added here. Right. So how many changes I'm doing? 2 records I'm updating here and 1 I'm adding, right? So whatever option you select in task, when you are running aggregation, SailPoint will always read these 3 changes. No matter what, whatever option you're selecting, doesn't matter. SailPoint will always read the changes. Okay. Always. Okay. But other than this changed entries, remaining entries also you want SailPoint to read it again. For that, you can use this option, disable optimization.
Disable optimization. Okay.
So it will read all accounts again forcefully. Now see the task. Because now we are reading, so it's taking more time. Now this time it's taking 6 seconds to complete. Account scan 162, updated 162. Because now it's updating all accounts. Even there are no change happen in this sheet. Clear?
Yeah. Now after that, after this execution, you show one path where some email address was showing. You showed in the first time you just showed that time. that part I missed it. That where some email address was there.
That's what you're saying. This one.
No, I think you may get this recorded session. You can watch again.
Yeah.
So Rahul,
sure.
So Rahul,
that's good because it's wasting time.
So Rahul, on the identity mappings you have done, right? You have done mapping with first name and email.
Oh,
after that,
yeah.
After that you have not, discussed about it further. And
yeah.
we went.
Okay. Fine. Okay.
Anyway,
Thanks
I mean, if you want to cover later, that's fine.
No. That is so the optimization I have to show you, so I can show you this mapping. So now we have defined this mapping, 2 mapping, email and the first name. So after this email and the first name, as I mentioned that whenever you define mapping, you have to run the aggregation, right? Now, when you run the aggregation, what will happen? SailPoint will only read the modified accounts, but we have to execute this task for all user. So we have to use disable optimization. So let's run this. Okay. So now SailPoint is reading all the accounts, correct? So definitely SailPoint will trigger this mapping for all the identities. Okay. So now go to identity warehouse. You see, open any random account. You see first name and email is coming for all user. Why it is coming? Because we define the mapping, and after defining the mapping, we run the full aggregation. Okay. Now same way we can do for other.
Okay, so first we need to map the attributes, and after that we will run the task.
Yeah, definitely. This attribute this mapping will only trigger when you run the aggregation. Okay. So example, now I define this last name just now. Okay. So if you go to identity, you will not see anything change on the last name. Okay. Because this mapping only triggered when you run the aggregation. So I have to run the aggregation now again. Aggregation task is finished. Total run time, if you see 5 seconds, average time is increasing slowly, 3 seconds. All user updated. If you see 162 ID updated, go to ID warehouse and refresh any user. Now we'll see last name also.
Yeah, now
So
last name is coming.
So every time you have to define mapping, and after that you have to trigger this task.
Task, trigger this task. Okay, got it. Okay.
So whatever the new mappings it is configured, the aggregation task will pick up automatically
Yes, yes.
without any other configuration.
Nothing.
Okay. So on the delimited file, Rahul, see, suppose one record is not having that unique attribute, that identity attribute employee ID, the value is not there. So what happens? I mean, the record will be read by
No,
aggregation.
SailPoint will not read that account.
Okay. What happens? I mean, how do we identify why that record was not read in
No,
console?
so basically, when we actually read the file, right? I mean, when we deploy this file, okay. So this should be done manually. That one time we should just, have a look on the file to see if there, data mismatch or file name is not correct, or the file is generated into a new format, file has different header, etc. We need to do it manually because SailPoint aggregation will fail, right? SailPoint will not notify you that, hey, this is the particular issue you have in your file.
Okay. So when you say manually means we have to correct the file, the delimited file manually.
Correct. Manually.
Okay. So is there any way we can define, I mean, these are my attributes are mandatory from the delimited file. These are my optional attributes. Okay. Non-mandatory. Even if it is null value, it is fine for me. Or if it is null, I cannot accept this record. It should be mandatory like that.
So what happens is basically when we connect to the application team, right? Because application team is going to provide this CSV, right? So when we connect to application team, we specifically ask, give us data in a standard format, whatever format you have. According to that format, we onboard the application. Now it's their job to every time provide the same data in the same format. And since this unique ID which we are using in the SailPoint, it should not be only in unique in the SailPoint, it should be also unique in their system, right? So if the unique attribute is missing, that means they have data issues. So we don't need to define anything that, hey, these are the optional attribute, these are the mandatory attribute. They should have unique attribute minimum in their system, and that same attribute we need in SailPoint.
So we have to assume that this data is quality check done and the data is generated properly for SailPoint.
Yes,
okay,
right.
Okay, understood.
Because some application, it happened sometime, some application team, they just randomly export the data and provide you. How SailPoint can read this header? Because we have manually configured this header in the application, right? Now you are providing us a CSV sheet in a different header, so it will never work. So they have to stick to a specific format.
Yes.
So today they have HR team provide us the data in this format. So we have to stick to this. Tomorrow, after 6 months, let's say their organization change happen and they have some new attribute introduced. So they have to notify us that, hey, we have this all new attribute, which you have to also read at the time of aggregation in your SailPoint system.
Okay. Rahul, one more question, Rahul, on top of that.
Go ahead.
Rahul, am I audible?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So the SailPoint will give that priority. For example, I make it a duplicate of that one record. So how SailPoint will identify it as it's a duplicate record, or it will load twice?
Yeah, we have this use case in the next application, duplicate entries.
Got it. Thank you.
We have this use case.
Rahul, I have a question. Can we add extended attribute to the application which we created for HRMS if we have such requirement?
Where you want to add extended attribute? Tell me here in the page.
Not here, in the application, HRMS application.
Here or in the application?
Application.
Yes, you can.
We can add it. Can you show one attribute? Not here, in the application, HRMS application. If you want
This is
to add,
HRMS application.
right. If you want to add some extended attributes apart from this, whatever
you can. These are the SailPoint defined attributes. Let's say we also mark few more checkbox here. Like example, is admin application, is is privilege application, is application applicable to some domain like that, some checkbox or some fields we want to add. So we can add here.
Okay, can you
It's the
show
same process
what
what I covered on Sunday session that I'm going to cover tomorrow. Like how we are going to add this for identity attribute, extended attribute, right? Same way you can add for application. So tomorrow I'm going to show you this page.
Okay.
Identity mapping, how we can add the extended attribute. Same way you can add extended attribute for application. Same way you can add for other objects also. I'll show you slowly.
Okay,
Yeah. But extended attribute are applicable to multiple objects, not only on identity.
One last question from
Yeah.
me, Rahul. See, on this aggregation, so the file it is SailPoint is reading, but tell me what scenario, for example, you have 20 records in the delimited file, and after 12th record, it is not able to read the 13th record. The SailPoint is not able to read the 13th record onwards, up to 20th. So in what scenarios SailPoint will fail to read the next records? So as I said, example 12 records it read properly, and from 13th it is not able to read until 20th.
There are multiple cases, right? And the unique attribute is missing. Okay.
Okay.
One scenario. Second is basically after 13 you're saying, okay. Okay, the username, right? For example, here, this record is already present. And you have duplicate entries here. Okay. In two situations, I can say as of now, it will fail.
Okay. So in case the SailPoint task server restarted or it was hanged, then what happens on the delimited file while it is reading from 12th record?
No, nothing. It will wait basically, and after some time it will execute.
Because
the task will be showing in the pending state here.
Okay.
It will not show complete. Once that server will up, it will show complete.
So it will pick up from where it is stopped, or it will resume back?
It will automatically pick.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
See, if you have stopped the server, okay. See, if your server is hanging, it's a different case. If your server is stopped, in that case, the task will fail. Okay, if your server is hanging for 5 minutes, it will show pending here. The task is still running, not completed. But if your server is stopped, it will show failed. Right.
All right.
So can we replicate this use case in our local system, Rahul?
Yeah, so just now after this session finish, I'll be doing complete enrollment process for all of you. I'll be sharing this lab so you all can set up this on your local machine. Same way what I'll be explaining you here, same way you have to mimic in your local machine, at least for the same time when I'm providing this training. Same time you can also explore more options, but make sure that you are not corrupting your SailPoint instance. Otherwise, you will lose track with what I'm explaining you in the regular sessions. But it is advisable to everyone to follow this same in your local machines. Then only you will become comfortable with this tool. Once you become comfortable, you will not face challenge in the interview or in your projects. All right. We'll be connecting tomorrow and we'll be covering this complete identity mapping. That time I'll show you how can we extend this attribute, extended attributes. That time I'll show you. Okay.
Okay, Rahul. So today we covered aggregation and notification.
Yes.
Thank you.
So it would be great, Rahul, if you are giving some insights on that challenges. So when you are onboarding or anything, that will really help us when we are exploring things.
Sure. So in the slowly, so I have some use cases, right? I'll be explaining you those. other than this, there are more challenge also, right? I mean, there is no limit, right? Even I also face some challenge in my when I work,
Right, right.
right?
Because whatever the challenges for each and every day, so if you're giving it 2 to 3 scenarios, so that will help for us actually.
Sure, sure. But same
That's
time, what I suggest you, right? Also set up this SailPoint in a local machine. This is to everyone, not only to you. Set up the SailPoint in a local machine and think some logical use case. Maybe I never covered that. So it will be also new learning for me, right? So think some logical use case. What could be the possibilities in the data? Okay, this data is coming. In the data, we have special characters. So what will happen? Right? Instead of employee ID numeric digit, we have string value. So what will happen? Right? So all this use case also think from your perspective also. So we can make it more interactive session and we can share more learning basically.
that's true.
But I'll be covering from my end. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, guys. We'll be connecting tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining today. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank
you,
you.
Rahul.
Thank you.